You're stuck with ICT, SMC and all this complicated stuff, you're in the right place, because I'm about to show you the strategy that I trade and I refined over 7 years to get me funded. No one else trades like this, you won't find this anywhere else. Look how much simpler it is than anything else that you've learned. First thing you'll notice is that my charts is divided in two different colors, green and yellow. The green candles, they highlight the whales, the ones that move prices to and from specific zones. These zones are always revisited by these specific candles, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if I just go further down, we'll go, this is the 1 hour time frame, we'll just go back down to the past. Anywhere is good, here's just as fine as anywhere else, and we'll just start tracing the areas where these green candles specifically seem to respect price. What we'll do, we'll just wait for this time window to finish. So we finished just in here. Now we have a few options in here. So first we can draw in here, so we can see price came to this area here from this zone here, which was another zone that was already previously respected, and then came from this area to this other area here, which was also previously respected very often by these green candles, right? So these all have to adjust just to account properly for the most recent one, which is around here, and this is perfect, right? So you can see already how the green candles will form zones that are respected by the green candles, and this is honestly just how easy it is. So we'll trace, for example, in here, this area here, we'll trace this one up the top, which lines up well with this. We've got something in the middle there. Does it line up with anything else? Yes, it does. Lines up perfectly with that one. So we'll be basically just tracing the areas that the green candles are taking prices to and from. This is basically it, right? If the zone is too big like this, let's just see if there's anything in the middle. There's likely a zone in the middle, and there we are. We have this area here which connects perfectly with these green candles. This is it. Once you draw the zones, this is the hardest part of the strategy now done. Once you draw the zones, you can start trading. I'll just quickly confirm if there's anything down the bottom here, because if prices break down, we need to have a few more zones down the bottom as well, right? And you can see we have an area in here that was respected by those two green candles, also respected over there. We can probably make this a little better like this, because now we get the exact area where these green candles have been respecting, as well as maybe a little bit wider, and we're getting out this perfectly, and now it makes a lot more sense. So it's all about checking out what the green candles are doing. That's basically it. Now we have a few zones. Without further ado, I will just have to wait for a green candle on the green zone, and we'll start trading. So we'll go down to a lower time frame with the exact same zones that we just drew, and we'll wait for the green candles to come to the market. Now when the green candles come to the market, usually the market will be on a green zone, and if the market is in a green zone and the green candles are active, we'll trade. Now we are not in a green zone, so there is no trade in this case, but we go straight into a green zone. Now we just wait for a specific pattern and rejection of that zone. Now I can't go to the 1 minute, but this looks like that's the pattern, and we'll aim to the next zone above, and it's that simple, and we go straight to the zone above. Now once we get to that zone above, we can then look potentially at going to the zone below. If we get stopped out, we can always change the direction, right? I can't see if there is an actual pattern in here, but just going from zone to zone, not even accounting for the pattern, we'll see what this looks like. So this will be stopped out here, but then here clearly from this zone to another zone. Is there news? There is news. So we'll actually not take this most likely, but very clearly, see, that's why we don't take news, but very clearly going from a zone up until another zone, touching perfectly. And look at this after the news, which we didn't get, but look at this, we touched perfectly the zone, going straight to the other zone. And this is how quickly price moves. This is how perfectly price moves, just from a zone to a zone. And we just wait for the next day. So even if we were to count this day here, we had our 4.86 times our risk. This 1 minus 1, so that's 3, and then this 1 minus 1, 2, so that's about 2.5 times what we've risked this day if you took the news, which is actually against the setup. So we are just trading basically like you right now, not really looking for the right pattern, just from the zone to a zone. That's how we are trading blind, and this is just to show you how accurate the zones by itself are, without even having to know the pattern. The pattern just makes the win rate much better, but this is just accounting for the actual zones, right? So when we have a rejection from the zone, we'll trade. Now, didn't really reject the zone properly. Now here we are obviously coming from the zone, so clear rejection here. Even if we missed that, we can do something like this, and that's our zone to zone there, right? Let's see how we'll go. And from zone to zone, didn't get stopped out, as you can see here. Didn't take us out, straight to the zone, right? That's another 2.5. So we're up about 5 in here. I do believe there's a bit of a pattern forming in here. What time is it? 2:10. Starting to get risky because we don't trade the full length of the time window. Usually just the first half is when they put orders, right? And we just wait. Let's see, from a zone to a zone. Yeah, perfectly. That's the last trade for the day, another 2.91. And that's just accounting for the zone. That's just with just the eyes. That's just accounting for the zone. Do you know how crazy this is? Just look how this repeats every day. Like, just notice every time that the price rejects the zone, goes down or up, it's a trade that you could have made, okay? So if you're stuck with ICT, complicated strategies, like this is how much clarity you should be having on your trades. And I've been there. I blue funded account, the ICT, I studied for years, and nothing worked until I actually went to the charts and I back tested vigorously until I found what actually works. And this is what actually works. This came along with a lot of time back testing, finding out why zones don't work. I just couldn't take no for an answer. And everyone would tell me, trade can't just be this simple. And honestly, I was just ready to prove them wrong. And this clearly shows. Look at this. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but look how it bounces from zone to zone. Like, how hard would it be for you to see a rejection? Even if you just look at the zone, doesn't matter if you trade like a monkey, I'll give you my pattern. But if you trade whatever, any price action pattern in this zone, just this other zone, look at this. Any. And the same thing here. Now here we are past the half pretty much, but even if you were like a monkey, you just trade from zone to zone. Let's see what happens. Now ended the session, so we would have closed the trade. This will be break even, but still, that's just how good the strategy is. It's just like, honestly, I've never seen anyone trade with this much clarity. We'll trace the zones together, we've seen the charts together, and this is how much clarity you should have. So you basically just draw the zones as they form, like this one here. We took price from here to here, perfectly. That's your new zone. And you just wait for price to keep moving from zone to zone, right? And this is it, from a zone to a zone. Now some days we will consolidate, yep, some days we will consolidate, but it doesn't matter because you have so many opportunities day after day. Like even this, like where it consolidated, it created these two zones. We used this one to go up until here. We then likely would have had another pattern to go up to this zone here. Right, likewise here, from a zone to a zone, zone that we already had, zone to a zone that we already had. Like, I could honestly go all day. If you don't really see how crazy of an opportunity this is yet, just don't buy, because I'll be directly mentoring you. This is quite a unique opportunity. So if you're tired of blowing funded challenges, if you're tired of the same strategies over and over again, you have one opportunity, it's now or never. You have one opportunity to get this done. You'll be helping me and I'll be helping you. I'll show you my strategy, I'll help you trade, and you help me by giving me your testimony when you're actually making it a trade as well. So if you're willing to learn, just come on in. This will definitely be the easiest strategy that you've learned in a long time. Down below, come and have a look, because I think this might be the last trading strategy that you've ever learned.